Hello everyone, this is Tom from Dirk Witte Guitars in Utrecht, the Netherlands, and today we are taking a look at this Fender Vintera 260s Stratocaster in Olympic white finish. Brand new guitar, just got it in this week, and part of their brand new, or rather new, Vintera 2 lineup by Fender, which is the successor of the Vintera 1 lineup, or the original Vintera lineup that had been in production for quite a while now, I'm guessing like 10 years or so, and they had decided to upgrade that entire lineup with all of these really awesome models, brand new models, and this one is one of those. In case you didn't know, Vintera, that actually stands for Vintage Era. And as you can maybe guess, that means that all of those models, as well as in the original Vintera lineup, as well as in the Vintera 2 lineup, are all very much based off of older type of specs and vintage style specs. And this one is no exception. So let's get into those specs right now. We got an alder body underneath this beautiful Olympic white finish, and yeah. Just gotta say that they really nailed the Olympic white shade / hue in the Mexican factory, because all of these models are produced in the Mexican factory, so making these also very accessible compared to their American counterparts. But yeah, really beautiful Olympic white finish that just looks totally killer with the multiply mint green pickguard. We got 3 vintage style 60s single coil pickups. Fender Stratocaster pickups, of course, and they just sound wonderful, and as you would expect and as you would like to hear from a vintage style Fender Stratocaster. So yeah, you will hear more about that in a minute as we get to the playing. We got a vintage style tremolo unit with bent steel saddles, 6 individual saddles and 6 bolts. Got the backplate going on here, single ply backplate with your tremolo unit and the claw and the springs underneath. The backplate, just a 4-bolt, also vintage spec. Controls, also very vintage style and traditional. 5-way pickup selector, bridge and middle, just the middle and neck, and then the neck pickup, and then a master volume, tone control for the neck, and a tone control for the middle, no tone control for the bridge, as they were also made back in the day. So if you're in the bridge position, then it is just the bridge pickup wide open, very twangy and bright and wonderful sounding. No push pull or anything. Again, vintage style, traditional. So yeah, no room for push pull or any of those doodads. We got a maple neck with a 1960s vintage style C profile, which is on the thinner side, I would say, but very well rounded and overall just very comfortable up and down the neck. Even if you are the type that is used to playing larger necks, like myself, I don't have very small hands by any means, so I gravitate more towards the larger necks and guitars, yeah, with larger necks. But this one doesn't feel weird or too thin by any means. It feels, again, very well rounded and just really comfortable up and down the neck. So yeah, I'm definitely really digging this neck. We got a rosewood fingerboard, which, by the way, is kind of special because Fender, especially on the Mexican models, had not really been using rosewood all that much over the past decade or so. So that is very nice to see that they have decided to start using true rosewood again instead of palfero or laurel or any of those types of wood, because this is really what they also used back in the day when these were produced in the 1960s. And yeah, so very much true vintage spec, and it just this one in particular is a very nice and dark piece of rosewood. It just looks really wonderful. With it also has a 7¼ radius, also very vintage style and traditional, so no compound radius or anything like that. And we got vintage style narrow tall frets and just your plain white dot inlays. So just very classic looking and just looks really good. We got a Graphtec nut, and we got your also old school 1960s style Fender logo / decal, and then also the vintage style Fender tuners that just work really well, and they also just match the overall vibe of this really wonderful guitar. Single string tree. And last thing to mention, this one comes with a gig bag, and which is Fender branded, and just yeah, really handy if you would like to take this one on the go to a gig or to practice or to class or whatever. Yeah, overall, really wonderful guitar, a really nice and well built true tribute to a 1960s Fender Stratocaster, and it just also just doesn't just look and feel great, but it also plays and sounds really great. So let's get to that part. But first, if you're interested in this very guitar, be sure to head over to the links in the description. One of those links will take you to the listing of this guitar on a website, as well as a link that will take you to the listing of this guitar on our refurb shop, if you also happen to be an international buyer. If you enjoyed this demo, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more cool weekly demos of cool electrics like this, cool acoustics, bass guitars, amplifiers, even all of that really cool stuff. Also be sure to like us and follow us on our socials, Instagram and Facebook. Links are also in the description. Without further ado, let's get to the planing demo and plug this one in. Going to be running it through the Fender Super Reverb from 1966. First going to be giving you some clean tones, and then I will be giving you some dirty tones, for which I will be using the MXR Super Badass distortion pedal. And yeah, let's get to that part and take this Fender Vintera to 60s Stratocaster in Olympic white finish for a spin.
Thank